Hi there, and welcome to a special edition of the Hemmings Auctions Week in Review. Usually we go over recent sales from HemmingsAuctions.com, but this week, this video comes out on Thanksgiving Friday, so we're going to go over a few premium classifieds that you can buy right now, because this weekend is a really big shopping day, and we all know cars make great gifts. Let me explain the premium classifieds. That's what happens when a live auction fails to meet the reserve. It immediately converts to the premium classified. The whole listing stays there along with all the photos. There's an asking price. You can make offers. You can also see previous offers. For the sellers, this is pretty great because you don't have to deal with lowballers. You just deny the request and they go away. For the buyers, it's great too. You don't have to deal with any stories about, I know what I got, or, I spent this much on parts. You just put in an offer, you wait for it to be accepted, or maybe you get hit back with a counteroffer. It's a pretty good process. And if you need any help justifying a car purchase, let me know, because I feel like I'm pretty good at that. I bought this van ostensibly for road trips, but because it's 2020 and all the stuff going on with that, we don't go anywhere. And now the main purpose of this thing is this really weird video studio outside my garage, which is also a great reason to buy this van, if you ask me. Anyway, enough about that. Let's move on to the cars. First up, this 1969 Plymouth Barracuda Mod top, asking price $41,800. In 1969 and 1970, Plymouth made the Barracuda and the Satellite with these vinyl patterns on the roof and matching seat trim. It was like someone in a boardroom was like, I know what's going to appeal to these broads. They love wallpaper. Let's put wallpaper on the cars. And I'm not kidding. There's ads that say stuff like, we've been designing cars with gals in mind for years, which is gross and dumb. But I do want to see this on a new car. Like, can you imagine like a modern Challenger Hellcat with a floral print roof? That would be sweet. Anyway, no one really bought these. They only sold 937 mod top Barracudas. There's no telling how many are left. They probably had the vinyl peeled off. This one has a restoration from 30 years ago. It's still showing up well. And, I think we've moved beyond gender normative assumptions about cars. I'd like to think we have. We probably haven't. But what better way to challenge those assumptions than driving a rare, sweet, floral print Plymouth Barracuda, no matter how you identify? Next, we have a frame-off restored 1967 Pontiac GTO convertible, asking price $54,540. This one looks really nice. It only has 1,000 miles since the restoration. It has the new for 67 400 cubic inch V8 with a 4-speed, but when they restored it, they put the 1966 tri-power induction on it with the 3 carbs, which all Pontiac people and really everybody loves. I'm not really going to talk about prices this week with any of these cars, but I will say that this is a lot less than it would cost to get a GTO and make it this nice. The rule with classic cars is you pay a little more now or a lot more later, and it's almost always true. I am still learning that lesson in my own personal life, and the point is, if you can afford the nice car, buy the nice car at the front, and this looks like a nice car. Next up, a 1972 Ford Ranchero Squire with a 429, asking price $12,500. Yeah, the car with the bed. This is Ford's version of the El Camino, the mullet of the automotive world. Business in front, party in the back. This is the 429 though, which is party in the front. And it's largely been spared of rust. They only made 166 429 4-barrel V8 Rancheros in 1972. And this one's pretty good. Check out the listing. I put links to all the cars this week in the video description. You can see this has a few rough edges, which actually, in my opinion, makes it a pretty good buy because you can drive it now. There's, nothing stopping you from enjoying it, but it also makes a good candidate for restoration because it's got those good rust-free bones and it's got the rare engine. And speaking of restoration, we have a recently restored 1972 Chevrolet C10 Cheyenne, asking price $16,250. I love classic trucks. I've said it before. I'm probably going to say it over and over in these videos because you can do stuff with them. It's not just drive. You can get things done. And this is a great example. It has a new paint job, rebuilt engine and transmission, new interior, and it even has air conditioning. Plus the two-tone paint, which I wish they put on the new trucks. And I mean, you can go on all day about how a modern truck is more capable and more comfortable than something like this, because it is, but it is not as cool. I mean that. Get the old truck. Next, I'm going to confess my ignorance here with this 1967 Midget and custom trailer, asking price $12,500. I know very little about vintage oval racing. Although I will say, if you wanted to get into vintage oval racing, this looks like a pretty good setup. You have a running car, it comes with a trailer, and it even comes with extra wheels. This is interesting because it has a modern Ford Z-Tech 4-cylinder in it, converted with carbs, so it's kind of cool. You see like those coil packs with carburetors. But it also means that if you need parts for the engine or if you need to replace the engine, it's probably a little easier than with a vintage engine, or at least more affordable. If you have anything you can do to educate me on vintage circle track racing, please let me know in the comments. I would love to learn more. And finally this week, a 1997 Lexus LX450, asking price $8,250. This might look like a high mileage, fairly decent Lexus LX450, but it is more than that, because under the hood, it has the TRD supercharger, which is TRD is Toyota Racing Development. It's Toyota's version of Ford Racing or GM Performance parts. This blower is worth 50-ish horsepower on top of the stock 215. So, you know, that's a pretty good upgrade. And plus, I bet if you put some oversized mud tires on this and a metal roof rack, you could probably flip this thing for a profit. That's all for this week. Please visit the website. We have even more premium classifieds, including this 1997 Mercedes-Benz SL500 that I didn't have time to include, plus new auctions going live every day. And while you're there, please sign up for the newsletter. Get the auctions in your inbox every single morning. And that's all I got. See you next time.